And I'm not saying allegedly.
Oh. Okay,
I'm saying, Sean Carter, you're a piece of shit. Taking Pimp C wasn't bad enough. You just want to go down there and you want to just remove all of the balls from every real gangster in Houston.
The Carter empire is collapsing due to scandalous revelations. This time, the whispers are really loud. For a long time, Beyoncé and Jay Z have been the music industry's unchallenged king and queen, the ultimate embodiment of love and strength. However, the internet is in astonishment after a startling disclosure made by Jonathan Hay, who was previously a dependable publicist during Rihanna's early career. Hay claims to have personally witnessed Jay Z's purported download activities and claims he doesn't even need to bring it up because he is aware of it. We're not talking about vague gossip or incomprehensible statements made in smoke-filled bars. We are talking about someone who saw what was happening in the rooms and is now disclosing what he says is a well-kept secret life.
Beyonce for sure. I love her. I love Beyonce. Jay Z too, I really admire the both of them.
The results have a profound effect on the Carter brand. Jay Z, the hustler turned mogul who built an empire with his bluster, is now depicted as having two lives. Hay asserts that rather than being a supportive wife, Beyoncé, the untouchable diva of stage and screen, is a woman concealing her own reality. The allegations claim that Beyoncé is a secret lover of women, and that her union with Jay Z is a prearranged union rather than a happy ending. A well-thought-out lavender wedding that shields them from prying eyes and doubles their star power as the perfect pair. If correct, this discovery fundamentally alters the trajectory of events. The Carter romance was converted into a business, despite the fact that millions of people cherished it. Diamonds and Grammys adorn the deal. The fans are stunned. The Beyhive, which is well known for its fervent support of Beyoncé, has been startled into an awkward silence. The news is so shocking to the Rihanna Navy, who are always ready to defend their Caribbean queen. The battle may have been about something far more personal than awards or album sales, as two armies of fans are finally realizing after years of online warfare. What does it mean that Beyoncé's marriage was actually a public shield, complete with songs, late-night rumors, and Instagram-perfect family photos? From the elevator fight with Solange to the enigmatic Lemonade recordings, everything seems to fit together like a puzzle piece in a much worse picture.
Beyonce.
Gorgeous, a stab to my self-esteem.
And just when it seems like the dust is too thick to breathe, Rihanna's name reappears in the narrative. Rumors have always plagued Jay Z and Rihanna's relationship. He found out she was a scientist while she was just a teenager in Barbados. Rumors that Beyoncé's side-eye toward Rihanna was driven by more than just diva rivalry, it was also a genuine fear of being replaced, have been stoked by industry insiders who have long claimed that his coaching went too far. We've seen the awkward pictures of handlers desperately trying to separate the women during news conferences for titles. Between two of the largest female superstars in the world, we have seen the silence, the subtle insults, and the Grammy shade. The dispute has always been framed as a commercial rivalry, but Hay's revelations make it appear to be something far more personal. We have a shattered marriage and a triangle of treachery that has been playing out in front of us for over 2 decades. If Rihanna was caught in the middle of it all, Beyoncé knew, and Jay Z was wandering. Imagine how stressful it would be to stand on a platform alongside someone who might have had something to do with your husband, bursting with secrets and posing for cameras. Imagine knowing that the gossip that surrounded the rise of a lady your husband discovered was constantly related to your personal life, and then seeing her rise to prominence as one of the world's most powerful women. Claims that despite their jaw-dropping smiles, Beyoncé and Rihanna won't stand together backstage expose the truth. And if Hay is to be believed, the feud was about more than just trophies. The objective was to survive in a game where empire, love, and devotion were all on the line.
With the lovely Aaliyah. What's going on, Aaliyah?
What's up? How you doing? I'm good. Been a while, sure.
Although there have been prior allegations regarding Jay Z and Rihanna's connection, they are typically dismissed as unfounded. But now that those rumors are linked to the shocking claim that his marriage is a sham, they carry more weight. Did Rihanna's closeness to Jay Z exacerbate Beyoncé's well-known insecurities? Was it truly a professional competition, or was their dispute over private entanglements too sensitive to ever be expressed in public? When Beyoncé was heard shouting at Jay in a Los Angeles restaurant and referring to Rihanna's name as the dagger, was that the alleged slip that revealed the truth? Those few uncomfortable moments suddenly don't feel like gossip. They resemble cracks in a fortress built to keep the mess within. And that's where we are right now, examining what once seemed to be an empire that could not be stopped. Now shaking, violently from charges that are too absurd to deny. Jay Z's supposed secret life, Rihanna's alleged private desires, and Beyoncé's alleged private desires. This is more than just a love triangle. It is a triangle of treachery with layers of ambition, dishonesty, and loyalty that span more than 20 years. As we continue to peel back these layers, we can't help but wonder what more truths might be lurking in the shadows, just waiting to be discovered.
I want you to think about this. Allegedly, Sean Carter is responsible for enacting Hype Williams to put Aaliyah on a faulty plane to move her out the way as punishment for rejecting him, and so he could level up Beyonce.
But as we explore the fractures in the Carter picture, one name keeps popping up like a persistent ghost: Kathy White. Once known in the industry as a clever publicist and socialite, Kathy found herself entangled in Jay Z's world in ways that gossip blogs could never fully understand. They whispered that she was his confidant, his alleged mistress, and the one he couldn't get away from. Then, at the age of 28, she abruptly disappeared. Even though the official version reported a medical calamity, the timing created a stir in the industry. Only a few days after Beyoncé announced her first pregnancy to the world, she passed away. A well-thought-out revelation that garnered international attention. Was it a coincidence? Something far more sinister? According to those close to Kathy, she recently admitted that she was preparing to tell her story. According to some, she even approached reporters and offered to provide them information about her connection with Jay Z in return for cash. If so, her sudden departure from the theater of life seems less like a chance incident and more like the curtain being brought down on someone who knew too much. Her friends recalled her as vibrant, determined, and not content to keep quiet forever. Some folks thought it was too weird that she had passed out as Beyoncé's pregnancy announcement was making headlines across the world. It seems like one story had to make room for another. The public celebration stifled the private controversy.
Sweetest person you can know, very intelligent. She knew what she was about and she knew what she wanted to do with her.
The rumors are still going strong. Industry insiders mutter about a sudden exit that appeared too simple. Bloggers highlight the strange fact that Kathy died exactly 1 year to the day after the first reports that she was in a love relationship with Jay Z. That eerie anniversary has sparked a lot of conspiracy ideas. They all said that Kathy's story was a race to protect the valuable resources of the Carter empire. Even worse, one insider claims that Kathy called Jay right before she passed out and threatened to go public unless she was compensated. Were these just rumors? Or was Kathy silenced before she could expose one of the most well-guarded secrets in music history? It is impossible to ignore the context. They had staked everything on the idea of Beyoncé and Jay Z's growing family, a pregnancy, a baby, since it was the perfect continuation of their fantasy. After earlier accusations of infidelity, it was the last act of atonement. But what would happen if that script were to be totally upended by another woman? Was Kathy White's passing the final in a series of cover-ups meant to keep the dynasty intact? When a young woman goes missing at such a suspicious period, suspicions are typically raised, despite official evidence to the contrary. The optics are unnerving, even for those who believe it was a sad coincidence.
I know so much on how you got where you are, how you stepped on many people.
The disturbing aspect of the story is enhanced by Beyoncé's silence throughout. She has worked for years to establish herself as a woman who rarely speaks, letting her music and carefully picked photos do the talking better than any interview ever could. But Beyoncé never addressed the blogs ranting about Jay Z's alleged betrayals, the world's outcry over Kathy White, or the rumors of a lavender marriage. Others have questioned if her silence is an indication of her power, or whether it demonstrates that she is enmeshed in an oppressive system that dictates all she does. Beyoncé's decision to remain a fortress at a time when celebrities swiftly refute rumors feels deliberate, even premeditated. there is a psychological twist to this circumstance. Beyoncé might be considered the victim, forced to put up with betrayal after treachery in order to protect her family and brand. She might have opted for dignity over public mudslinging because she thought that keeping quiet was the only option to save herself from further humiliation. But her silence could not be an indication of weakness. Her best weapon might be her ability to keep everything under control by refuting any reports about oxygen. Both critics and supporters cannot ignore the enigma created by this dichotomy: victim or strategist.
No, when I get nervous, I tell the truth.
With contracts, sponsorships, and a global brand to maintain behind the glittering stage lights and sold-out tours, Beyoncé is a multi-billionaire businesswoman. Any public admission or statement of scandal might cost that empire millions of dollars in revenue and have a domino effect. Maybe the quiet has less to do with human anguish and more to do with economic strategy. A person who understands that the stakes are too high to ever show weakness makes a thoughtful choice. Politicians and royals are more disciplined than pop artists. As a result, Beyoncé's acts appear to be more government-like than just celebrity-related. Several insiders claim that this silence isn't entirely her choice. They suggest a larger gadget. The management teams, handlers, and label executives may determine her answers, or lack thereof. Breaking that silence would shatter their decades-long delusion. If this is the case, Beyoncé is forced to sustain a narrative that no longer fully represents her personal life, making her more of a prisoner of her own empire than its queen. So, is she gritting her teeth because she doesn't see a way out? Or is she tacitly endorsing Jay Z's alleged double life?
After that major documentary comes out on Diddy, then you're going to start to hear more and more about Jay Z and his nefarious.
The most disturbing of all is the idea that Beyoncé is not only aware of every rumor, but also actively works to keep them hidden. If her marriage is a front, then her silence is the most important performance art act of her career. She would not only have been a victim of deception, but she would have also helped to create it by spinning a glittering lie that millions of people have believed. That may make her manipulative or merely pragmatic, depending on our point of view. But there's no denying that Beyoncé's silence has purpose. It is purposeful, laden, and perhaps the most telling clue of all. At this stage, the narrative turns into like a movie, almost. Considering that a billion-dollar company relies on silence, imagine the weight of making sure that one woman's voice was never heard. Hollywood is not new to these trends. Reputations are painstakingly cleaned up, scandals are concealed, and stories are changed. But when it comes to Kathy White, the strands never truly disappear. Her name is still mentioned. Whenever there are rifts in the Carter marriage, she has become the phantom at the feast. The reminder that underlying the immaculate family portraits is a labyrinth of secrets that may never be fully exposed.
Rap mogul Jay Z is denying allegations he assaulted a 13-year-old girl alongside rapper Sean Diddy Combs. That civil lawsuit filed against Combs in October was amended Sunday to include Jay Z. The accuser, identified only as Jane Doe, says she was assaulted by both.
Kathy's tale is only one part of the larger picture, because while Beyoncé and Jay Z tightened their grip on the story, someone else was taking up her time and maybe preparing her own retaliation. Rihanna is a rising celebrity who became a global billionaire, a woman who will always be surrounded by reports of conflict with Beyoncé, and a protege discovered by Jay Z. From the day Rihanna entered the Def Jam headquarters as a child, her career was associated with Jay Z's choice, but she may have paid a price for that relationship, getting caught up in a struggle between power, passion, and devotion. Was Rihanna merely an outcome of the Carter system, or has she been secretly plotting her revenge? The disagreement between Beyoncé and in the past, Rihanna has exploded in public. Rumor has it that Beyoncé yelled Rihanna's name at Jay in a fit of wrath, that they have exchanged harsh words behind closed doors, and that they occasionally avoid each other. But what if those lights were just the start? Some industry sources claim that Rihanna has been amassing her own receipt collection for many years. Rihanna's ability to divulge everything, including hidden recordings, unreleased photos, and even rumors of a book that would reveal everything, is one of the most attractive chances in the industry. After all, Rihanna, the woman Jay Z portrayed, as the rival Beyoncé could never truly accept, was the ideal candidate to ruin the Carter brand forever.
I have no felonies, I'm not crazy or none of that. It's like, I just want the truth, and it's so hard to get it. from the courts, and it seems like Jay Z don't want to say anything. So, you know, I don't want to see him go down for something that you could have just got taken care of. That's it.
About it. Rihanna has nothing to lose and everything to gain. She is already an expert in music, fashion, beauty, and now parenthood. Jay Z's empire is not the same as hers, no longer reliant on Roc Nation's assistance. She is therefore violent, erratic, and more than capable of toppling the power couple that had controlled her story. Consider a documentary that presents the unadulterated truth of what she witnessed, or a work that exposes identities and forces readers to confront the untidy reality that the slick magazine covers conceal. Such a move may disrupt not just the music industry, but the entire cultural landscape. Given that Jay Z is juggling new legal troubles and mounting criticism about his connection with Diddy, the timing is almost poetic. As she prepares for her next major event, Beyoncé works to maintain the brand. On the other hand, Rihanna possesses the kind of cultural influence that might destroy them with a single disclosure. In an already suspenseful plot with many unanswered questions, the concept that she is playing the long game, waiting for the perfect moment to attack, is both thrilling and terrifying.
I would hope he would think about it and this would be in his mind, but I wouldn't actually know what another person is feeling.
That brings us to the final cliffhanger. Could this be the beginning of the end for Jay Z and Beyoncé? With rivals, suspicious tragedies, and tales of hidden lovers looming in the background, their newly formed empire seems more vulnerable than ever. Before the facade collapses, how much longer can the Carter dynasty hide the truth? Tell us what you think. Are we seeing the most glamorous power couple in history break up in real time? Leave your thoughts in the space provided for comments. And until the next time, keep in mind that sometimes the glitter conceals the most sinister realities. Be brave and inquisitive.